Hello everyone. We are out in the living room today because I needed some extra space. I have been busy this week, but my week was full of selected neglect. If you know what that is. We choose to neglect certain things, and that certain thing is my temperature blanket. I was still in the mood to play, so play is what I did. And I have a whole bunch of these to share with you. I have 15 different patterns in 5 days. So don't mind that my painting is like off center. I rearranged the living room when I had all the company coming over for Jenna's graduation. And I like it better because it made the room look more open and look like there was more space. But I haven't got around to moving that painting yet. That's supposed to go above the large sofa, not the love seat. And I'm on the love seat. So anyhow, so I have 15 patterns that I did in 5 days. And some of them are paid, some of them are free. Let's see, where do we start? Okay. This first one is a paid pattern, and I got the pattern on Etsy, and I, off the top of my head, cannot think of the name of the shop, but I will link it in the description below. Now, I did have a hard time with this pattern only because the only yarns that I could get here local is the Bernat blanket, and color choices are limited, but also it's like the white is so much thicker than the other colors. And with my limited color palette, I had white and red to do this with. And the white is super thick. So this part of my Triceratops, the frill, is a little bit more ruffly than I think I would like it to be because the white is so much thicker than the red. But other than that, this was a fairly easy pattern to make. I just struggled with my yarn because why can't they make it all the same size, right? So this is Bernat blanket, and he turned out pretty good, other than the white being bigger. So that's one pattern. This one, I think, was a paid pattern. It might have been free. I've played with so many of them, I don't really remember. But I will link it. It's a candy mushroom. And again, using the Bernat blanket yarn. So the white is super thick. So it made this part here, like, not do what it's supposed to. And then this part, you're supposed to put, I think it's 3 stitches in each stitch to give this ruffle. But it was so thick I couldn't do it. I reduced it down to 2 stitches. But other than that, I didn't give him his little mouth or anything yet. But I think it turned out pretty good. So it might have been a free pattern. I just don't know. Okay, then I did a squid. Again, we are Bernat with my limited color palette. So this one was really simple, and it was a paid pattern. I think I should have made a list. But yeah, it was definitely a paid pattern, but I think it was Teresa's crochet shop, but don't quote me on that, but I'll link it in the description below. And this was fairly easy. It was a no-sew pattern, and I like how it turned out. You know, even with the Bernat blanket. And then this is their speckled So we have a squid. And, okay, so everybody makes these little mini octos. And this is a free pattern here on YouTube. But I made the mistake of putting his little eyes too low. So he looks really angry. And I want to say that they do like a popcorn or... it's like doing 3 or 4 double crochets together to do this part. And I did a popcorn stitch. So that's where you do 5 and then you take your hook out and come back through. But I just felt like his little legs were more pronounced. And this one is the 5-weight yarn that I picked up at Hobby Lobby. Because I had a little scrap left and it was just enough to make this little octo. So this one is another dinosaur. It's another style of Triceratops. And it's an old video that I found here on YouTube from Crochet Club or Club Crochet, something like that. But it's a no-sew Triceratops. Now, the guy that does it, the tutorial, he says to use one color. And I'm like, why do I have to use one color? So I did a color change for the frill. And then he makes it without a tail, like he's just got this little nub. So these were the Hobby Lobby 5-weight. So I had a little bit of the Premier Parfait. So I said, let me try it again, but I want to give it a tail. So I did it again with the colors that I had. And I used, for the horns, I used an acrylic yarn and then took a lighter to it to like tighten it up and melt off the frizz. And I gave him a little bit longer of a tail and put a little spike on it. But it's funny how this is a 5-weight and this is a 6. And they did come out like slightly different sizes. Like the 5-weight is actually bigger than the 6-weight. I don't understand the yarn. I just don't understand the yarn. So that was a free one here on YouTube. It's like Club Crochet or Crochet Club. And it's a 30-minute video with the guy talking and explaining. It's only like 15 rounds to make that little Triceratop. And so you can do them really quick once you know the pattern. So I think that was it on the free patterns. Most of these I bought the patterns. So this one I bought off of Etsy. And again, it's the Bernat yarn. But it's an owl. But do you know which owl this is? Where does this owl come from? So I would have liked to have used the other yarns. I'm not sure that I'm a fan of this Bernat yarn. Especially the white, because it's so thick. So we have the owl. This one is also a paid one that I got off of Etsy. And it is a no-sew. And I think this pig turned out awesome. So he looks just like a little piggy bank, and it was completely no-sew. And this was really easy to do. And it is out of the 5-weight that I picked up from Hobby Lobby. So I like this one. This one was a good one to do. And I think it's the yarn that's making the difference for me with these, is that because that Bernat is so thick. So we have the little pig. And then Jenna suggests I give him wings and, you know, have a flying pig. So I might make him some little angel wings and add to the top, and then I'll have a flying pig. This one I've seen other people make, and this one definitely came from Teresa's Crochet Shop. It is a clam, but clams don't usually have pearls. I guess they could, but and then the little pearl dude, he's got his little eyes and his mouth. Maybe, I don't know, when I'm stuffing, I feel like I'm getting them good and stuffed it, but then later on, when you go back and mess with it, it's like, did I really give it enough? But it's cute. I used gray because it didn't have any white. And I had used my cream color on the inside of the clamshell, oyster shell. So that one is a paid pattern that I got. This one was definitely Teresa's Crochet Shop. And of course, we've seen these all over YouTube, a leggy frog, so I had to give it a try. It's not too bad. It's pretty easy to do. But, and again, this is from the 5-weight that I picked up at Hobby Lobby. You know, it's funny because I went on Premiere and I keep looking to see if they're putting their parfait on sale because it's $4.99 and you only get 131 yards. And when I look at the price, I always look at what the yardage is. So I kind of have a tough time with this bulky yarn because it's pricey for what you get. So yeah, it's really pricey for what you get, in my opinion. So I was searching and I keep checking because I really don't like the white in the Bernat, especially the white. But I keep checking, it's still $4.99, it's still $4.99. And then someone else had suggested another brand. So when I went to Google that, it pulled up, of course, Hobby, whatever it's called, their Honey Bunny. But for their price on sale, it's like $6 something. You don't get a whole lot of yardage. But it also came up with, Hirschner's and Mary Maxim that had the Premier Parfait Chunky on sale for $3.99, while Premier is at $4.99. But nobody has, well, I shouldn't say nobody. Premier and Hirschner out of the yellows, the whites, the greens. So to get yellow and green, Mary Maxim also has the Premier Parfait, at least at the time that I'm recording this, on sale for $3.99. Now, both Hirschner's and Mary Maxim offered me a 15% off coupon. So one of them, I can't remember, I think it was Hirschner's, said over $49 you get a fixed shipping price. Now, they base their shipping on the price of your merchandise. So anything like if you order over, say, $200 worth of yarn, which is very easy to do, you're going to pay 10% in shipping. So you have to weigh it. Are you going to get a better discount with the free shipping or by using the 15% off your total purchase? In my case, for my order, I was better off using the 15% off coupon and paying the shipping. But when it was all said and done, I only saved $5 because the shipping and the sales tax were outrageous. The kitty's in here with me now. So yeah, if you check out Hirschner's and Mary Maxim, they have the yellows, you know. So back to these patterns. Now, this one is a paid pattern, but it was only $1 for the pattern. And this one was really fun to make, and I think he looks really cute. He is called Mr. Bread and Butter. Now, I didn't have white, so I used the cream color, so he's wheat bread. And I didn't have regular brown, so I used the like goldenrod color, mustard color. Not sure what they named it. But this is also done in that 5-weight that I picked up from Hobby Lobby. But he's got his little pat of butter there. And yes, there is sewing on this, but it's easy sewing. It's not like putting on forelegs and ears and horns and spots and all kinds of. This one was the easy one, but this was a dollar pattern. It was kind of cute. Then I made a Kraken, and this came out of one of my pattern books. I just wanted to try it with the thicker yarn, and this yarn was I had told Jenna to pick up one variegated, and she missed the part where I said think jellyfish. So the color choice wasn't like jellyfish colors because she didn't see that in my message, because it was like an after the fact message. So I used it to make a Kraken out of my Creepy Creatures and Cryptoids book. So here is the front. You can see the little eyes. I put a white dot with my white gel pen on his eye. And his head has that nice shape, nice long tentacles. Whoa. He is basically no sew. The only part you sew is the little part on the bottom here. Once everything else is done, you just make a circle and you close the bottom up. But with different yarn, not this color, with different yarn, it would look really cool. Then the turtles that I made last week, don't laugh at this, you guys. The turtles that I made last week, I decided I wanted to try something a little different and be a little fun with the turtle. So the one yarn that I have yellow in is the Bernat blanket. So I had yellow, black, and white. So I decided to make the turtle what I thought would look like a bee. He kind of looks like a bandit bee. Now I overstuffed his head just a little bit, I think. Maybe not. But I get his belly is black on the bottom. There's like stuffing fuzz just everywhere. He's got his little tail. So everybody so far is like, what is that? I'm like, don't pick. I thought it was cool. But I think if I did it again, I would do his head and his flippers in green. And then just the shell in the yellow and black. And then maybe a green, or I don't know, the green bottom maybe. But yeah, they were laughing at my bee turtle. But turtles and bees, oh, this stuff is everywhere. Turtles and bees are so popular. I just thought, well, why not combine it? See what we can do. Don't laugh at him. He already feels like the redheaded stepchild. And then, now this one I kind of did on my own. Just because I wanted to test out this color change trick that I saw on Instagram. So I wanted to check it out and see how it would work. So I made a coral snake. Now I cut it kind of short. I could have kept going. It was really easy to do, but you don't see the big, like, abrupt stop, start the new color, and then when you're changing to abrupt stop and start the new color. You don't see that, but you can see it just a little. Like, it does not, like, here's a color change here. It does not come out perfectly straight, but you don't have that abrupt stop. So I like that better than the abrupt stop. But this one was really easy. And then when you stuff it, you just stuff it a little so that you can twist it around and do the different things with it. I looked online to see a picture of what a coral snake, like how the colors go, like the head is black, then a yellow, then it goes black again, and then it starts to yellow, red, yellow, black, yellow, red, yellow, black, whatever. And then the tail ends the same way the head was. But I think they are, I've actually seen one in real life. We were walking at the park one day on the walking path that they have, and one just slithered right across, and it was like, and they don't make an anti-venom for these type of snakes anymore because not enough people get bit. So, the 4 or 5 people a year that might get bit, it's not worth them to make the anti-venom. So you see one, yellow touches black. How's that rhyme go? I don't know. Red touches black. Friend of Jack. Red touches yellow, kill a fellow. Something like that. I don't know. But I think what I started to say is out of a thinner yarn, because they are very slender snakes, using a thinner yarn and doing that would look super cool. Like, instead of doing it as a plushie, doing it out of regular acrylic yarn, be awesome. But since he was black on black, I had to put the white around the eye to get it to stand out. Toby, don't you mess with that. Come up here and say hi to everybody. Hi. He's getting so big. Look at how big he's getting. Nope, no biting. No biting. No clawing me either. So I have 2 left. And both of them are paid patterns. And this one came from Teresa's, and it was fairly simple. Hey, can you guess what it is? Now, I think my gray color was a very dull, boring gray color, but it's what I had. And this was the Premier Parfait. So I'm just testing out patterns, what I like and what I don't like. There have been a few that I do not like, that because of the sewing, I don't like them. But this one wasn't bad. You have to sew on the snout, but that wasn't hard. The little fins or flippers, whatever they're called, flippers, wasn't hard. And then the tail, it wasn't hard. They're fairly simple, especially these parts because they're flat and you're not trying to keep them round. But manatees are a big deal in Florida. So that's my manatee. Definitely use a different color gray. One last one. And this is a paid pattern. And I'm not going to tell you what he is. You have to guess what he is and tell me down in the description what you think he is. Now, I will say that I think I need to take his ears off and move them forward a little bit. But this turned out ginormous. And, well, there was one other one that I was working on that I haven't finished yet. And because it called for white, and of course I could have done it any color I want, but I don't have all the colors. And it's out of the Bernat blanket. It is ending up absolutely huge. Like, I used an entire skein of white, and those things are like $10 a roll. So there's already $10 in supplies just in the one part. And then you still have all the little pieces that you have to make and sew on. So I'm not getting a lot of enjoyment out of that one. But this pattern came from the same shop as that. And it's not because of the way the pattern was written. It's because of the yarn I'm using. It's like huge, huge. It's going to be as big as this stupid bed pillow. All right. But you try to guess what this is. And it's ginormous. I mean, like, it's bigger than my head. What do you think that this is? I can tell you that I struggled a lot with this. I could not do it the way the pattern was written. I put it on and took it off like 5 times. And finally I just said, I can't do that. I have to just try and do it my way. But I do think the ears need to be a little bit more forward. But you tell me, what do you think that this big guy is? Toby, chill out, dude. He's got a bad case of the zoomies. So that's how I have spent my week, what free time that I have had in between my regular work and working on this other tutorial. I selectively neglected my temperature blanket and a couple of other projects that I had started. I had to, well, if I was smart, which I wasn't, I would have worked on my fillet blanket while I was waiting for my yarn to come in to finish this other tutorial that I'm working on. That is, the end product goes to Jenna because it was her idea, her suggestion. And, but instead of doing what I should have been doing, I decided it's playtime. I'm going to make me some more plushies. Now, what am I going to do with all these? I have no idea. No idea at all. But these are big and they're piling up. So 15 patterns in 5 days. Technically 16, but I didn't finish the other one, so I didn't include it. So let me know what you think this guy is, and we'll see you in the next video. Come here, Toby, and say goodbye. Here's Toby. He's saying goodbye. Look at the camera. Oh, my goodness, he's getting so big. Say bye-bye. Oh, ouch. He wants to play. All right, bye, guys. See you in the next video.